Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is TseuQuest, and today I want to talk about and show you what I can of TseuQuest. Now, the name is a bit hard to pronounce, but TseuQuest, which is really just the word quest spelled backwards and then forwards with the Q's meeting in the middle, was a game developed by Ludophilia, sold by GameZone, and it would have been the game that would have commemorated HeroQuest's 25th anniversary. In so many words, the company producing it said, "Hey guys, we have the trademark to HeroQuest in Europe. We are going to make HeroQuest again for the masses. And also it's going to be an updated version of the game, so not HeroQuest at all, but kind of like HeroQuest. Yay, we are serving two different demographics completely apart in the Venn diagrams. Let's go!" In 2021, they surrendered this copyright. They renounced their trademark, rather, I should say. That's the proper terminology. And Hasbro was able to get the HeroQuest trademark for worldwide use. What happened to TseuQuest? Well, we're not going to be able to look at it physically today, even though I wish I could. There are hundreds, if not in the thousands by now, of people who also wish they had this game physically. For you see, ever since before 2021, basically since the 25th anniversary of HeroQuest, this game has been promised to many people who have paid good money, and yet they still don't have it. In fact, the updates at this point are inconsistent. They're constantly telling people what they already know, and it's just not advised that anybody sinks any money into this. You can actually participate in what they are calling the pre-sale of the game right now through GameZone Miniatures, but this is not a video where I condone participating in that pre-sale. I like pre-ordering things myself. I don't have a problem with that. But this is not something that I would suggest you spend any money on at all, because the consensus is it's not going to go out to the people who've paid for it. Despite that, let's take a look at what would have been our HeroQuest revival. So this is rebranded to be TseuQuest so that it is in line with something that is apart from Hasbro's HeroQuest. But the pre-sale claims to guarantee your copy, and you would be able to choose the language. We have a lot of contents with this. This would have been a very ambitious game. It actually emulates the HeroQuest board very closely. This picture seems to infer that the board is an inverted version of HeroQuest's quest board. Yes, we have a vertical inversion of HeroQuest's quest board, and the center room actually has corners cut out of it, with additional corners added to the corner rooms in the four quadrants that are adjacent to the center room. So you have a lot more twisting in the corridors. We see a lot of miniatures that come with this. It actually has 8 heroes, and then of course your bevy of artifacts and equipment and abilities and adventure book and instruction book. I see a bit of a screen, which looks pretty cool. It's not very big. I'm not sure how functional screens like this truly are for even HeroQuest itself, but it does come with one. And the box, this would easily sell for $100 USD. So I think that if this were a real product that were actually being sold, it would definitely be worth considering for its 134 euro price tag. We have the pre-order page up here. Let's take a look at the heroes. The heroes, which I've read that some, for whatever reason, whatever the source is, I can't find anything super official other than what information I have seen, which is mired in comments that from people who basically treat this as a meme now, as though it is absolutely expected that it will simply never exist. But I've heard that these were going to be metal miniatures. And we get the barbarian, the dwarf, the mage, and the elf. We get the huntress, the female dwarf, the enchantress, and the female elf. It looks like the rest of these are probably just going to be sold separately, unless they are part of the game. Gosh, these are some... This is an art style, all right. This looks like Melissa McCarthy, I think her name is. Those are all heroes. Man, that's a lot of heroes. We have adversaries. €5.50. This guy is the 3 times bigger legendary goblin boss. You're telling me, this says resin, I think the minis that come with the game, at least the hero minis I think I read, were going to be metal. This is resin. And they're saying this is €5.50 for something like this. €6.50 for the Primordial Chaos Sorcerer. You're essentially looking at, basically though, a copy of HeroQuest in so many different ways. You do see a couple of original mechanics added, so I think that this is kind of every homebrewer's dream to have a game that basically is HeroQuest. I'm going to invite you guys over to play it at my house, but we're going to be playing with home rules. So lots of house rules, some homebrew, and you'll be able to do these extra things that you couldn't do in the original HeroQuest unless you were also homebrewing it. Statement makes no sense the further you go into it. We have chaos. Kind of fun that they actually just blatantly associate chaos. I know Games Workshop doesn't own chaos. They don't have it like copyrighted and trademarked and everything. They might have it trademarked. But to say, hey, this thing is from chaos and has chaos magic, you're dancing pretty close. You're opening the door to further get closer to that line. Wolf 1, this wolf is, I guess he's in a leaping to attack pose, a lunge, but this angle makes it look like he is constipated. We have an entire faction of dwarves, of dark elves. Ooh, I have to see your dark elves. I do have to see your dark elves. Dark elf huntress. Wow, she beheaded somebody. Goodness. Dark elf sorceress with familiar. She's lovely. Hey, their sculptor's not too bad. There are some sculpts here that are kind of questionable, but for the most part, we've got some pretty decent old hammer looking sculpts. Here's Leonora. Ash, why did you click on her? It's not what you think. That was the default picture. And here she is. You can see the front of her now. She's licking her blade. She's in part of the vampires. We've got Sylvanas, which seems to be, I'm not sure if it's a faction. Seems to be a single character that can also be placed on a bird. Feudal Knights, Royal Tumuli Guardians. Nothing you can really see from the thumbnails that I'm clicking on because the thumbnails are just so dang small to begin with, especially at this resolution. Monsters and Machines. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. So going back to, well, we also have scenery. I already clicked on that. Going back to the pre-order page, I would like to look at the different editions, which we only have one edition, but it would have been or is still planned to be, printed across 5 different languages: English, Spanish, French, Deutsch, and Italian. But we can see what this is supposed to come with. We really don't get a better picture than this from Game Zone. This is it. It would come with the Mentor model screen. There they go. There they go. Keeping Mentor's name in there. The Alpha model double-sided board. Now that is interesting. I would like to see the opposite side of the board. 6 combat dice, 2 movement dice, a rules book, Volume 1 Book of Adventures, which is called No Threat Unanswered, 8 adventurer sheets, and 3 antagonist sheets. That's interesting. They've got like an antagonist system. The 3 antagonists are the Alpha Orc, the Gargoyle, and the Primordial Chaos Sorcerer. The 8 adventurers are, as I've already shown, the Barbarian, the Dwarf, the Mage, the Elf, the Huntress, the Female Dwarf, the Enchantress, and the Female Elf. The 115 cards include 6 Ignis elemental cards, 6 Aqua elemental spells, 6 Air elemental spells, and 6 Terra elemental spells. So looks like twice the amount of elemental spells that the wizard would have access to in classic HeroQuest. You also get 6 Chaos spells, which seems super low compared to the amount of chaos spells that we get in the original HeroQuest, so that's quite a trade-off. 16 equipment cards, 32 treasure, 10 artifact, 16 reference cards, and 11 adversary cards. Monsterpedia. They don't really explain what that means, so I guess just 11 monster cards, really. We get 35 henchmen, including a wraith, an ogre, a petrified gargoyle, 6 goblins, 6 different models, 8 different models of orcs, 3 different models of what they're calling, I can't barely read that, Drax, Orax, Drakes, 2 different models of mummy, 4 different model of zombie, 4 different skeleton warriors, 1 tentacles from the abyss, and 4 primordial chaos warriors, also 4 different models. Very ambitious to have every single model be unique like that. That is a very, very ambitious thing. I would not have done that. That's just not practical, man. That could actually have a lot to do with the game's complete halt in communication or production, or at least intermittent and very concerning halts in production and communication. 39 tokens, including all your traps, your fallen rocks, your secret doors, your entry stairs, your double fallen rocks, and all of that. We've got 48 scenery elements, and I believe that these would all be 3D pieces of furniture. So combined with the unique sculpts from the henchmen or monsters, and then the adventurers or heroes, the scenery elements, 48 of them. That is a ton, just a ton, extremely expensive. I'm starting to think 134 euros is just a break even, if that is truly 3D scenery. But you've got an armory rack, a sarcophagus, a well, an altar, a cage, a mirror, a statue, wardrobes, manor tables, and anywhere there are multiples, they're different models. So just adding to the extreme, man, the extreme ambition here. I mean, it says that there's 4 treasure chests, but that's 4 different models. I'm actually pretty surprised that the doors aren't different models at this point. My goodness. Dracs. Yeah, they are Dracs. I don't know what those are. We might have to go back to the characters page. TseuQuest, it's a tragedy. It's really a tragedy, and it's left a lot of people just completely disenchanted. Game Zone Miniatures seems to just have TseuQuest. So I think that this is the platform created just for this property. I'm really not sure at all what would be available if you just wanted to come here to order a miniature, if you'd ever see your money again or your miniature. But it's a darn shame because there are quite a few things on here that look so cool. The game concept itself is really cool. I'll give them that. There's nothing wrong at all with copying from the greatest, and TseuQuest is doing exactly that. And it's not a secret. It's not anything unknown or on the hush-hush or down low. It was literally going to just be HeroQuest with a little new homebrew element system thrown on for good measure. Extra heroes, factions, lots and lots of extra different sculpts of things. That all makes perfect sense to me, but it doesn't appear as though it's going to get anywhere or give anybody anything at this point. So if you are one of the multitudes of people who have spent money on this and now you're kind of in that boat with so many other people that you'll never see anything, you have my condolences and my sympathies. However, I won't completely abolish hope. Perhaps this will make it out into the physical world at some point, someday. Until everybody gets the email that the company has gone completely bankrupt and begins to get class action lawsuits and everything, I would definitely expect that to kind of be the way that things go. But, you know, if it ever does get into somebody's hands as a physical release, I will go after this. I will get a copy of it. I will unbox it. We will play at TseuQuest right here on the channel. I might even make a special TseuAsh channel that's entirely TseuQuest devoted. Should I have saved this video for April 1st? No, this needed to be, we needed to make sure that those of you who aren't in the know yet are now in the know. So please do not pre-order TseuQuest. Do not touch this. Go to the website and look to your heart's content. Observe all that you wish to about the miniatures and the board game. Lots of cool things here to look at and maybe derive some inspiration from. The vampiress. She's beautiful. Taking a look at the sculpts, which are still in their 3D modeled forms, not even physical. And maybe if you've got your own ambitious game project, you can kind of try to figure out where the line should have been drawn for this one in terms of ambition and production, and where you might be able to avoid those same pitfalls so that you can get your TseuQuest out into the wild, so to speak. Guys, I know this video was kind of all over the place, but this is really an all over the place kind of topic. I do love the logo, how the T's in TseuQuest are axes facing out. That is beautiful. That is a great design. The Q in the middle is lovely as well. There's so much potential here. So much potential. Shame, Game Zone. Ludophilia, thank you for giving the trademark to Hasbro in 2021. We all appreciate that. We definitely didn't expect any less. I'm glad that you were able to differentiate this product properly from HeroQuest, since it is not HeroQuest, and kind of trying to market it to those people who wanted HeroQuest for its 25th anniversary would have been kind of a disservice, something a little more self-serving. This, as its own thing, is much more etiquette, I think, more reputable. Although that reputation is completely drained at this point. I hope that we get this out in the wild in some form, though. It would be nice. It would be nice if they could do a second Kickstarter, maybe fool more people. Guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Comment anything you'd like down below. And until then, bye for now.